Welcome to the Travel Agency New Year podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Kay, and today is day 64, staying committed to your travel business. Why do I say business like that? I don't even know what accent that is. I don't know. Um, you are not alone as you are growing. Most of us are home based working, right? We're working from home. We don't have a ton of interaction. Oh shoot, There are Janet Miller runs co-working sessions, and she named the group something else, and I'm not on Meta anymore, but it's on Facebook. Shoot, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, Janet Miller created co-working sessions for travel advisors so that you don't feel so alone and you can get so much more done. She uses the Pomodoro technique and timer, and then there's a little bit of social time during the breaks. So, A, don't feel alone in that way. I do hear from advisors, and I do feel it myself, the feeling of just being alone. We're here at home in our home offices or home office space. We might only interact with our children, or like in my case, it's me. It's just me and my houseplants. I got like 50 of them. Um, And you've got friends and things like that and your spouse. And also, you might be feeling very low. Just know that you are not alone in feeling this way. And it can cause a lot of issues with wanting to maintain commitment to your business that you are working so hard to build. And also, I would just want to say how proud I am of anyone listening to this episode for even taking the steps to do this, because it takes so much courage to go out on your own, even if you're posted, like you're still kind of on your own, and to build something that could change your life forever, good or bad, not gonna lie. But you're taking that risk and you're taking this time to entrepreneurship and just being self-employed, you have to be so much more disciplined because it's like you don't make money if you don't do anything, right? So I'm proud of all of you. And anyway, feelings are not facts. When you start to feel like this is not going to work and everyone hates you, and I'm not saying you're going to feel this way. I'm just thinking of like things I've heard and kind of felt energetically from my coaching calls with travel advisors. Like, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you can't handle all the things that's being put on your plate right now. Um, you feel like it's just going to fail anyway. You feel like you don't know what you're talking about. You feel like all these people are just going to cancel on you. Uh, all those feelings, they are not facts. Okay. They're not facts. That is your ego trying to protect you. So I like to think of your ego as like the roommate in your brain that was formed between the ages of birth and roughly 8 years old. And the ego can be good or bad. And it's doing its best to try and protect you. And it's only protecting you with things that you've picked up as a very small child from any random person. Like, don't be like, oh, it's not my parents' fault. Like, no, it could have just been a teacher one day was having a bad day. It was like, sit down and be quiet. I don't want to hear it. And then you're like, I can't speak up because you were 6 years old. And it just put in your brain, this is how have to think about things. So it's not just like generational thing or family thing. It's your brain was wired to believe certain things, and that is your ego is the roommate in your head trying to protect you. Because again, what you're doing takes a lot of guts. And in order to stay committed, like, understand when you start having these feelings that this isn't going to work, I'm never going to be good enough. Nobody wants to see me. Nobody wants to see me show up online. Nobody's going to work with me. That is not reality. That is something in your brain trying to protect you because it's not used to this change. Our brains do not like change. We like nice habits. And so I'm like, let's build up a habit of time blocking and all these things in this podcast. You've got to slowly build up the habit. So just understand, it's the silly roommate in your head when you have those feelings that's just trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. and you can do some work with therapy, maybe some meditation or hypnosis. I don't know. Look into it. There's different modalities that can help you kind of fix those thinkings or at least be able to contain and control them. Okay. When you're feeling like there's no point in doing this anymore, take a break. Don't be afraid to take a day or two off and just rest. Sometimes we think we've got to, especially American culture, we think we've got to go, 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 go. And I also am not a fan of the phrase side hustle because it's on the side and yet you're hustling at the same time. And that's just sounds like a hamster running full speed ahead on the wheel and not going anywhere in my brain. So don't ever think of what you're doing as a side hustle. If you do, that's just going to not be cool in the end. But if you need to take a day off from everything, you are allowed to do it because you are in charge. Your business isn't in charge. Your clients aren't in charge. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like this is going to lead to everything burning down, take a day off. Take 2 days off. Don't take a whole month. Just take a day or two and reset yourself because you can't be at your best if you aren't properly rested. And this ties back to previous episodes where I talk about the importance of maintaining your health. Rest is very important. Um, Try your best to get sleep. I know I can't just be like, go to sleep, everybody. Because I know everyone has different reasons why they have trouble sleeping. But rest. Okay. Give yourself some time to rest. All right. Your actions are more important than your results. Remember that. You can be much more in control of your actions than you can be in control of said results. And if you are confident in your actions and you're doing your best with said actions with regards to this business, you can know that it will lead to progress. It may not be exactly how you wanted it to look like. However, if you know that you're doing your best every single day, there's no reason to worry. You are making progress and everything else is out of your control. When you do rest or just take a break, go outside, go touch the grass like kids today are saying, go touch the grass. Sit in the grass. I don't care. Be barefoot. It really resets your Dr. Arthur Brooks talks about this like default mode network. It really resets your need for excessive dopamine and like go, 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 go and calms your anxiety. And he always recommends go outside first hour of the day, get up early and take a walk outside just as the sun is rising. There's so many benefits to it. And it'll calm your brain down because it knows it's like safe. It's like, oh, we're just out in nature taking a walk. We have no other worries, right? Don't go for a run, just a nice walk. Take in the scenery around your neighborhood, whatever. Always remember, and I've said this in other episodes, good enough is good enough. Good enough. There's something I watched a long time ago, a movie or a book I read. The character's last name is good enough. Hmm, I don't know what it is. Anyway, if you know what it is, comment. And also, congrats, you made it this far into this episode. If you're doing the work, like point four, the actions, if you're doing it to the best of your ability, why worry? That is something I learned. It was a Walt Disney quote. When you've done the best you can, there's no need to worry. Good enough is good enough. Okay, what is your original motivation? You might need to take a look at what your original motivation is because we all grow and change, even though we hate growth and change. We all do it. So revisit your original motivation for starting this travel business and see if it still aligns and see if you need to tweak it a little bit. But we are always best motivated when we believe that our efforts will lead to a result that matters. So is your original motivation something that still matters? Or do you need to rewrite that? Because if your original motivation, let's say, is just to make tons of money, and then you aren't making a ton of money and but you found that you like really helping people, but now you're kind of down because you're like, I'm not making any money. Is that the true motivation? Were you wrong there? So you need to tweak it. Also, you'll make money. Keep going. But if you keep the mindset of I'm not even gonna get into all the scarcity mindset right now. Another thing you can do, if you're like me, transform your workspace. I like to change things up a little bit. Sometimes I just like to work in a different area of my home. So you can just do a good deep clean. Organize one shelf. Maybe add some plants. Easy. The last tip, assess what's going well when you're feeling like you can't stay committed because we all go to what's not working. Let's stop and take a minute and think about what is actually working in your travel agency. For you personally, for the agency itself, what is working instead of what's not working. Celebrate everything that you have learned because you've learned so much being self employed. You've learned about destinations. You've learned how to use so many different types of software. You've learned how to do social media and marketing, customer service skills, leveled up. Your communication skills, hopefully leveled up. So even if you're like, oh, I'm not getting the bookings I want right now, keep going because it's going to happen if you keep trying, like actually putting the effort in. Don't just slump to the side. Don't constantly pivot to different niches and different marketing strategies. Stick to something that we've talked in previous episodes for several months and then revisit, but keep going. All right. I hope this episode helped you if you're having a crappy day today. If you know someone having a crappy day, send this episode if they're like, I'm done being a travel advisor. Let's talk about it. Let's just listen to this episode. And also have a good day.